Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the setup for a new passive income node. It's not that new, but it's not that old. It's a little bit about a month and a half old, and it's called Netsis. I'm going to set this up on Node Orbit. You can use whatever hosting you'd like, but everything I'm going to be doing will be linked in the description below. The steps will pretty much be the same thing all the way up to the very end. The end is where you're going to be taking the private key and putting it into the host that you're choosing to use. The first thing that we're going to do is install the wallet, and I'm going to install that wallet inside a virtual machine. It's a free download that you can get from VMware, and I'll make sure I link this video right over here to walk you through the steps to get this set up if you've never done it before. The operating system is going to be Ubuntu 20.04, and the collateral that you're going to need to get this set up is going to be 10,000 Netsis coins. Now, the exchange that I purchased it on is going to be ZegX. I don't know if there's any other exchanges right now that you can use. Again, I'll link that down below. So let's go ahead and start installing this node. And I'm just going to switch over to my desktop. You can see that I have VMware Workstation Player 17. Ubuntu's already installed. Just have to click on the play button over here. It's going to boot up. Okay, and we'll log in. All right, so here we are at the desktop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my browser, and we're going to go over to the Netsis homepage. Here we are at the Netsis homepage. The easiest way to get to the wallet is just click on the GitHub link over here. It's going to jump over to the Netsis GitHub page. And if we scroll down over here into the releases section, you can see that there's version 1, which is released on December 17th, 2023. You can go ahead and select that. Looks like they haven't updated it since then. If you're on a Windows computer, there is a Windows version. There's also a Mac version if that's something you're interested in. In this example, I'm going to be using the Linux one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it'll download, and then we can go ahead and open this up, and then we can extract it. So we're selecting it, and we're going to click on the extract button, and I'm going to be selecting my documents folder. That's typically where I put it. You can really put it anywhere that you want. So you can go ahead and extract that. There we go, and that is done. We'll get out of here, close out of this. So there's 4 files that was extracted. The version that we're going to be using is this netsis-qt because we want the Qt wallet. And just to make this a little bit easier so there's not so many subfolders, I'm just going to copy this file, and I'm just going to go into the main documents folder and paste it in there. Everything else I'm just going to get rid of because I don't actually need. You don't need to delete everything. I just like to reduce the amount of extra files. We may not have complete access and control of this, so we want to make sure that we change the privileges. We're going to do that by going into our terminal. There we go. And I'm going to just change directory in there. So CD and then documents. There we go. Type in ls. It's the only file that's in there. So what I'm going to do now is type in chmod or chmod space 777 space, and then we're going to type in the name of the file or just hit tab, Netsis, there we go, and then hit enter. So now there shouldn't be any issues accessing this file. The next thing that we're going to do to execute it and open it up is hit the period / and then type in netsis-qt, hit enter, and it's going to launch it. You can use the default directory, or you can use a custom directory in a different folder if space is an issue for you. And then you can click on OK. And what it's going to do is start loading up the wallet. You get some appearance things that you can change. I like dark mode. Choose whatever you want there. I'll leave the fonts as is. And I just like things a little bit smaller so I can fit more on a screen. Click on save. But you can adjust this however you want. So you can see right over here that it is now syncing and connecting. So I'm going to let this sync. It might take a little bit of time for that to happen. What I'll do is I'll jump over to the next step. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. The wallet is now synced up. There's a couple things that we want to do before we even do anything else. The first thing is we want to make sure that we back up the wallet.dat file. We're going to go up to the file menu at the top, and we have a backup wallet. We're in the section where we can back up our wallet, and you can see it's a wallet.dat file. You can give it any name that you want, but when you're pasting it in to recover it in the future, you want to make sure it's called wallet.dat. So I'm just going to call it backup wallet, and then it's going to save it. And now it's been saved. So this is a crucial file. If your wallet gets corrupted or if you have to move it to another PC, you can install the wallet, let it sync up, and then copy over this wallet.dat file in, overwrite the existing one, and everything will get recovered automatically. Absolutely important that you put that somewhere safe. You save that file and keep it offline, maybe keep it on a USB stick somewhere where no one has access to it. The next thing that we want to do is secure our wallet. And we're going to secure our wallet by encrypting it. And we're just going to do that by going to the settings menu up here at the top and then click on encrypt wallet. You can go ahead and put in 10 or more random characters, or you can put in 8 or more words. You can secure it with a phrase, or you can secure it with a alphanumeric word. You go ahead and you can enter that in and then re-enter it in and then click on OK. And then your wallet is now encrypted. One other thing that you also want to have enabled is if you go up here into the settings menu and then go into options, you can select the wallet tab over here, and we want to enable coin control features. And we also want to show the master nodes tab as well. That's going to require a restart, but this allows us to see what's locked. Our collateral is locked, and then we can unlock it if we need to do that. And then master nodes tab is going to be able to see all the master nodes on the network as well as our master node, just to make sure that the status is up and running when we need to check on it. So we want to make sure that those options are selected, and then you can just click on OK to continue. So I'm going to be setting up this wallet using a bunch of different commands. Everything that's going in this wallet is going to be deleted. The funds are going to be removed, and I'm terminating everything. I'm setting this up with no blurred out section, so you get a very clear idea of exactly what I'm doing. There's quite a few steps involved, and I want to make sure that you can see exactly what I'm copying and pasting in, and also noticing the spaces that are in the command, because those are very important. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I have over here are some of the command outputs that we're going to be gathering for fee addresses and collateral addresses and so on. I'm going to have this text file. We're going to be gathering all the output and pasting it in there temporarily as I create some commands. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is fund my wallet. And for me to fund my wallet, I want to make sure I have enough Netsis coins. You're going to need 10,000 Netsis coins for collateral for this node. You're going to want to send yourself a little bit extra to cover transaction fees. So I'll send 10,005 over to this wallet. I'm going to click on the receive button over here, and I'm just going to create a new address. I'm going to call it deposit and then request payment, and it's going to give me an address. So this is the address that I'm going to be sending my funds to right now. I'm just going to copy it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to ZegX. What I'm going to do inside ZegX is I'm going to log in and get my Netsis coins, which is going to be the 10,005 coins, and I'm going to send it to this wallet address that I just created. So what I'll do is I'll skip ahead to the next step. All right, so we have our collateral now in here, 10,005, and that 5 will be for transaction fees. We're just going to pop open this sheet that I have over here. This is a text file. We're going to be running through a few commands, and we're going to be gathering some data addresses and so on. The first thing that we're going to do is get the master node fee address, and we'll do that by typing in get new address and then hit enter, and we have a new address here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'll paste it over here. So we have the master node fee address. Now what we want to do is send some coins here. So I'm going to go back. I have this address copied, and I'm going to go into the send window. I'm going to paste it in here and send 5 Netsis tokens. I'm going to send 5 Netsis coins over to this address. And I'm going to click on send. We'll just have to click on yes, and it's going to send. And what we want to do is wait for 4 confirmations. Now, the confirmations on this chain do take a while for whatever reason. The first one might take some time, and then the rest plow through. We want to make sure that we have 4 confirmations when this is complete. We're going to go back into the debug console, and we're going to create another address. Okay, so I'm going to be typing in again, get new address, and hit enter. It's going to generate an address. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it in. This is the next address that I'm going to be using. This is for the master node collateral. So I'm going to go back over here. The payment to myself, this is now confirmed. You can see I have 19 confirmations. I actually let it sit for a little bit. And now we're ready to go on to the next step. So the next step is to get our master node collateral. We're going to copy this, and we're going to go into the send window, and we're going to paste in the address right over here. And we're going to be sending ourselves the collateral. So the collateral is going to be the 10,000. It's going to be exactly 10,000. You want to make sure that this is not checked. And we can go ahead and click on send, and then we'll click on yes. We have to wait again for confirmations. And what we want to do is we want to wait for 4 confirmations before we proceed to the next step. All right, so our transaction is now confirmed. You can see we have 8 confirmations. We're going to go back to the debug console, and we're going to type in master node outputs. Then hit enter. We're going to get a string over here. I'm going to copy this line right over here, and I'm going to put it in my master node output section because we're going to be referring to this momentarily. Okay. And the next thing we're going to be doing is the BLS command. So in the same window, you're going to type in BLS space generate and then hit enter. And we get 2 addresses. We get a secret and a public. We're going to be referring to these later. The secret is going to be the address that you're going to be putting inside node orbit when you're updating the node. So you want to take note of that. But we're going to be copying it all right now. And I'm going to paste it under BLS generate. Now we just got to create a few more addresses. So back in the debug console, we're going to type in get new address, and it's going to pump out an address. You're going to copy that, and we're going to use this for the owner of masternode. We're going to create another address, get new address, hit enter, and it's got another one. I'm going to copy that, and that's going to be the proposal voting address. And we're going to go back in and we're going to create one more. So we'll type in get new address and enter, and then we're going to copy this address. And this is going to be for masternode rewards. Okay, so we have all the information we need to create the next few commands that we're going to be entering in. And now we're going to set up the next command using the information that we had already gathered. And that is going to be the protx register prepare. The first thing is we're going to be getting the masternode outputs. And I'm just going to rearrange everything so you can see it a little bit better here. Okay, so I've just rearranged it so you can see it a bit better. So you don't need the actual brackets in here. We're just going to be pasting over it. This is just so you can see where everything is. And the important thing right here is that there's always one space in between each section that we're entering in. First part is going to be the masternode outputs transaction ID. So here it is. Here's the masternode outputs transaction ID. I'm taking this. I'm not using the quotations. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste it in. And the next part is going to be either a 1 or a 0 for the masternode outputs. You can see that we have a 1 here. So I'm just going to turn this into a 1. And then we have to have the IP address for our host. That's going to be assigned to you. If you're using Node Orbit, you'll get an IP address assigned to you. Right now, I'm just going to put in a dummy address. So it's going to be 192.168.1.1. The port number, :14664. Want to make sure this is the correct port number. This is the one that's specific to Netsis. So you got to make sure you have that in there. The next thing is going to be the address for the masternode. So that's right over here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste it in. Okay, and then we want the public address for the BLS generate. So back over here in BLS generate, we have the public output right over here. We're not using the quotations, and I'm going to be taking this section out and I'm going to paste it in its place. And then we have the proposal voting address is going to be next. So here it is, proposal voting. I'm going to copy that. And then back in here, I'm going to paste it in. And then there's a space, and then we have a 0, and then there's another space. And now we want to get the masternode reward address. So masternode reward is right here. Copy that. And then we're going to paste it in. And then we need the masternode fee address. So masternode fee is up here at the top. I'm going to copy this and I'll paste it in. So we have entered in all the information that we need. One thing to note here is that we're looking for a space in between every single thing. So there's a space there, there's a space here, there's a space between the 1 and the IP address, another space, and so on. Just one space, not 2 spaces, not 0 spaces, just one space. Okay, so we have all that good. And then we can go ahead and go back to our console window. So I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it in and then hit enter. Okay, great. And now we have a bunch of output here. So I want to make sure that I highlight all of this and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go back into this window and I'm just going to paste it just below so I can find it easily. How are you enjoying this so far? All right, so the next command is going to be the signMessage. We're going to be doing the signMessage command next. So let me just pop open this window. And the signMessage is just 2 things that we need. It's going to be the collateral address, and it's also going to be the signMessage that we just received over here. So I'm going to jump back over to this, and we have the collateral address, which is right here. I'm going to copy that and paste it in. And we want the signMessage. And the signMessage is going to be all of this. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to paste it in. All right, so we have the signMessage, which is going to have the quotations. There is 1 space in between here and 1 space in between here. The rest is the output that we got. So we're going to highlight all this. We're going to copy it and we're going to go back into the debug console, and then we're going to paste it in and then hit enter. Okay, so we got an output here, which is just going to be another wonderful string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this string and I'm going to paste it below because yes, we are going to need that later. And I'm trying to keep everything together in their own windows because it's easier to refer to it. I know this gets confusing. So that's why I have multiple notepads open because this is going to be the output for the signMessage. Okay. And then we have one more step. And that one more step is to do the protx register submit. And yes, it's going to be another command. So we have it right over here. It's protx register _ submit. And we want to get the output for the register prepare and then the signMessage. So we're going to need the register prepare output. This is going to be the transaction ID. That's going to be in the last thing that we just did. So it's right over here. in the protx register prepare transaction ID, we're going to be highlighting, we're going to highlight the whole thing, not the quotations, just the whole string of numbers and letters. We're going to copy that, and then we're going to paste it right over here. And there's one space in between, and then we have to do the sign message. The sign message is going to be taken from over here. This is the sign message that we had. We had an output, which is a string of letters. We're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it right in here. Boom, sign message. Okay, and now we can take this entire string, copy it. We're going to go back to the debug console, and we're back at the debug console, and then we're going to paste it in, and then we're going to hit enter. And then we get this output right over here. So we can copy this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste it down here at the bottom, and I'm going to save it. So these text files I'm saving for something to refer to, but that's pretty much it. We've done all the commands that's required. The last step is to go into the Node Orbit website. Okay, and here it is. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Here's my Netsis node. And I'm going to go to actions, and I'm going to put update node data. I'm going to select that. It's going to take me over to a section where it says key. The key is going to be the secret key right over here without the quotations. You're going to copy this, and you're going to paste it in, and then you just have to click on update. And that's it. Now, it will take a little bit of time for the node to update, but what you can do back on your wallet is go over to the master node section, and you'll find yours listed right over here. This is where there's a list of absolutely all the nodes that are on the network that are online. You can see under status that we see enabled. When you check my master node only, your node will show up here, and it should say under status enabled. And that's the last thing you need to do to confirm that your node is up and running. And again, that process might take a few minutes to a couple of hours for it to be updated. Okay, and that's all there is to it. We have our Netsis node up and running. I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to make sure I link everything in the description below. I'll also put a link to my blog, which will give you the steps, step by step, if you get stuck with anything else. So this is one of those projects I've discovered inside the Sleep Money Club. We talk about a lot of new projects there. It's a private club. If you're interested in joining, I'll make sure I link that in the description below, as well as everything else you need to get this up and running. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.